I'm joined now with Darren Wandon, who is the Yarra Ranges Council Firestick Alliance Officer. Thanks for joining us, Darren.
Thanks for having us, Janelle.
Now, I understand you had the opportunity to meet with Victor Stephenson recently. Can you tell us a little bit about Victor?
Yeah, no worries. Victor Stephenson is a Tagalaka man from up in far north Queensland. Spent a lifetime, learning about Indigenous land management practices with his elders up there, and he's also one of the founding members of the Firesticks Alliance. They do some really good work in terms of going out to communities and helping them revitalise culture fire on their country, but also supporting them, in terms of, I suppose, getting through some of the red tape they might find on their country as well. So does a lot of good work, and I suppose it's a good time to point out that Yarra Ranges Council is now in a partnership with Firesticks Alliance, and really happy to be a part of that journey as well.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds fantastic. Now, we have a clip that we're going to show, but can you just give us a little bit of a description of what's going on in this video?
Yeah, sure. So me and Vic got to meet out on country out at Dixon's Creek at a spot that we've been burning for quite a few years now. And it was a really good chance to see some of the country that we haven't yet been able to burn, but also the spots where we have been burning and putting that culture fire back on the country, and see the regeneration that's taking place, and really seeing how that country is being healed by the fire. But and the other thing is too is like just a day to hang out with Victor was just fantastic. Any chance I get a time to hang out with a mentor like that, I'm absolutely going to jump at the opportunity. So I was really happy to be there.
Yeah, too deadly, brother. Yeah. Let's take a look, shall we?
Nice, thanks.
If your ancestors were to come back today and walk on this country here, for Wurundjeri people, and walk up, they'll look at this country, and first thing they do, cry. And they cry, and then next thing they do is they'll start to fix it. And the way they fix it, they use that old knowledge to apply that fire in the right soils, in the right place, in the right ecosystems, to reactivate all the food, so that all the animals come back, and all the berries and plant foods, plant-based foods, they all come back.
Hi, my name's Darren Wandon. I'm a Wurundjeri man and the new Cultural Firesticks Officer for Yarra Ranges Council. I'm here at Dixon's Creek on Wurundjeri country here today, and I'm here to meet with Victor Stephenson, an important man to me because he's not only one of the leaders of the Firesticks project, but holds a lot of knowledge for culture fire on country and has spread the word, and big inspiration for myself. So we're here to meet with him today and talk a little bit about what we can do to heal country together. Well, it's good to have you back here on Wurundjeri country, Victor. It's I think this is the first spot that we hung out in on Wurundjeri country and did some burning. So it's good to see us. I think it's 3 years ago now.
3 years.
Here we are back at the same spot in Dixon's Creek.
If it wasn't for that COVID, we would have been here a bit earlier.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And now you're working with Firesticks. Now we're on your own country, and doing your own thing.
I would never have thought that would have happened. I didn't plan that, but the universe has created it that way, and I'm more than happy to be a part of it. Yeah.
It's so good just to see you, see you working in your own country and getting that capacity, and that's what it's all about, eh?
Yeah,
just getting that up and running.
Yeah.
So, and here now we're at Brett Alice's property, a place where a private owner here, where we did a few burns. This is where all the bushfires affected the place here back in that time, 2009, and devastated parts of Victoria. And you can see country starting to shoot back in places, but it's very unhealthy. So with a lot of leaf litter, and so we started to do some burns here. We should go have a look at what would happen, eh?
Absolutely. Yeah.
This cruise. After those wildfires, they kill all the big trees, and now you can see them all burnt. Yeah. You can see the dead trees up the parent ones, all gone now. Yeah. But when you look down on the ground, now there's no grass, there's no food on the landscape. There's just leaf litter. We're all around this country, so nothing can grow. And even though he had this rain recently, and even though this was burnt in 2009, so it's only 11 years ago now.
Yeah.
Still nothing growing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the country will stay like this for 30, 40 years more.
There's tiny little patches trying to come through, but that's about as much as they're going to get.
It won't come back to food source like it should do. So the animals start to starve. and your ancestors, they lived here, they couldn't collect food.
That's right. Yeah.
Sort of
Well,
very
even
important.
just looking around, I can't see any food plants through here.
There are some like small plants,
animal.
they're grasses that
Yeah.
give certain seed for flour, making flour.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just all leaf litter.
Yeah.
And you can see nothing will grow here. And that's 11 years down the track.
Yep.
So it's very alarming because people don't know what the bush should look like.
Well, a lot of people think this is what this bush looks like, and this is how it's always been in their lifetime. So this is how it should be, and that's not the case.
That's exactly right,
Yeah.
you know. So now this causes mass extinction. There's too many trees growing, young trees, and so we don't get the sparseness between the big trees to grow big, and too many trees fighting each other, and then they start to drop leaves, and nothing can grow. They suppress the vegetation on the ground,
Yep.
and so no grass for animals, no food, no berries, plants, no ferns and orchids. Everything is not here anymore, and so this is what we call a sick landscape that has no food left. So if your ancestors were to come back today,
Yep.
and walk on this country here for Wurundjeri people, and come from the spirit world back here now, and walk up, they'll look at this country. First thing they do, cry,
Yeah, absolutely.
and they cry, and then next thing they do is they'll start to fix it.
Yeah, yeah,
And the way they fix it, they use that old knowledge
yeah,
to apply that fire in the right soils, in the right place, in the right ecosystems to
yeah.
reactivate all the food,
That's right.
so that all the animals come back, and all the berries and plant foods,
Yep.
plant-based foods, they all come back.
Yep.
And if we don't activate it like they would do, then it's just going to stay like this
That's
and
right.
continue to go downhill. And
Yeah.
when that happens, you don't get to see all the different plants that belong here
Yeah.
for your children.
Yep.
You don't get to teach them the bush foods, the medicines.
That's right.
You don't get the animals coming back.
That's what I worry about with places like this, where it has been left for so long, is that we know that some of the seed banks and stuff like that only last so long. It really scares me that we're going to lose that diversity that should be here.
Right.
And a lot of these places are just sitting here in this state, and or they're either getting cooked too hot, or they're not getting done anything at all. And yeah, it just scares me thinking about 20 years from now to see where things will end up
That's
if we don't
right.
make a change now.
That's exactly right. And if the longer they wait, the worse it's going to be.
Yep.
You know. So the next step through your job now with Firesticks and within your own country is to start getting your crew together and get your indigenous burning practitioners up and trained.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
they understand all this stuff, and so they know what to do to start healing landscapes using the fire,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and not like hazard reduction and burning the hell out of the country. And
That's right. Yeah,
not
we'll
knowing what
avoid
they're
that.
doing.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
I see the burns up the road there that's happening from the authorities, and it's not the right time for those certain soils, and it's not good what they're doing. I saw the trees burnt today in
Yeah.
different places, completely burnt,
Yep.
and which starts to repeat that cycle of too much heat in the soil and leaf litter on the ground,
Yep.
and they just go round in circles.
Yeah, yeah. I was worried about sort of where it's going to be in 20 years, and if we don't start doing something, when we recognise these spots, well, they might be forgotten, and then we end up with ecosystems that are completely lost.
That's exactly right. We're in dire straits, and
Yeah.
that's the same all over Australia. There's all this suppression happening all over the country, and sick landscapes and mass extinction happening, and they're not doing nothing about it yet.
Yeah.
And even after the 2019 fires, they're still not acting the way
Yeah.
they should be.
Yeah.
And I don't see any action coming from that what our ancestors would do if they were on this landscape.
Yeah.
And to get back there, it's going to take a lot of work and a lot
Absolutely.
of training, because the nation's not skilled,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
they've lost that knowledge and that practice. So
Yeah.
yeah, so this will sit here for a long time unless we do something, and
Yeah.
because we're on private property today,
Yeah.
we can light it up.
That's
So
right,
we're
yeah,
going to
we're
light it
allowed
up
to.
anyway. And
No red tape.
We'll start the process. So, light him up then.
Yeah,
and
yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Let's get it happening. That's the way. It'll burn good.
That's it.
But it won't go nowhere except around the trickle around this little area.
Yeah.
As soon as they get outside, it'll go out into green grass because it's wet season.
Yep.
After the raining, Sorry, it wasn't wet season, but just after the rain that's been through. But
Yeah, yeah.
But now that fires will burn all the leaf litter off, and because we have that moisture in the soil, it'll
That's
activate
right.
that seed.
Yeah.
But we can only do it when we've got the moisture like we got now.
That's right.
If we wait till it's dry, we won't get the proper return we're looking
Well, we
for.
just end up burning the seed then. Hey, yeah.
Well, you know, it's just not the right
the right
temperatures
Yeah.
and moistures and the right combination that's needed. And that's only for this situation,
That's right.
where you
Yep.
got leaf litter on the ground where there should be grasses and food.
Yep.
But we're burning it today on private property.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
wonderful thing that Brett Ellis has, come along for the journey and been a big part of this stuff, and that, he's quite happy for us to come and do this and then practice culture out on his property. I think it's a wonderful thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the good thing about private landholders.
Yeah.
Doing it on adult country or other country, national park country, and that is a whole other story. They don't want to support
Yes.
Indigenous land management
Sometimes
the
there's
way that we want it to have it
a
done.
few hoops that need to be jumped through, and lots of permits and stuff like that.
That's
Makes
right.
it very difficult to, I suppose, to act when the action is needed. Like we say, when the land's telling us it needs to be healed, not when someone is telling the land it needs to be healed. It's two different things.
Oh, we're getting there. Let's go and show up here where we burnt 2 years ago.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
see the
sure.
difference now.
Absolutely,
Same country,
yeah.
same ecosystem, just up another 50 or 40 meters, and
Yeah.
then we'll go and show them what it looks like
I
after
feel
we
happy
did the
doing
fire.
something here, but I feel happier when I'm up there. So
Yeah, yeah. That's why now it's time to burn all that leaf litter country while everything is green and all the moisture's in the soil. And that's how you heal this sort of country with leaf litter.
underneath, we've got shrubs that are coming back through. We've got small lomandras coming back through. We've got these little mosses and stuff through here as well that are holding the moisture in the soil again and not just running off and getting erosion problems. It's coming back to what it should be.
That's exactly right, and
Yeah.
this is the same ecosystem just down, not far down the track where we just lit that leaf litter up.
Yep.
This is what this looked like, and this would look the same after 11 years as it is down there if we
Yep.
didn't apply
If we
that
didn't do
fire.
the fire. Yeah.
So the fire activates it
Yep.
and brings back all the tucker.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
And not just for
Yeah.
us too, for the animals, It's their food too. It's their food source.
That's
Which
right.
We live off them too, so it's important for everything.
You can see all the chewing marks in the grass.
Yep.
They're having a feed.
Yep.
Really good.
Yeah, little seeds that are dropping into and actually being able to be held on to, so the seeds can actually get back into the soil, not just getting washed away, down with the rain. They've got something to hold on to now.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a stark difference, and if you don't activate it, then it will always be leaf litter and contributing to the extinction of our wildlife and country
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
culture.
Yep, that's
and
right.
that's why the training's important, because knowledge is the most important thing and the safest thing
Yeah.
you can have.
Yeah.
Not the equipment, not
Yeah.
the hat, not the fire code and the big
radio
boot.
and the maps and the plans and
I mean, that's all part of the modern day land management and knowing what you're burning for, why you're burning.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just amazing to see that all that grass is coming back and food coming back,
Absolutely.
And
Love to see it when it's at its complete full health that it's supposed to be, and then coming back to do those sort of, almost like maintenance, but that upkeep, the burns that it needs to keep it healthy.
yeah,
Really look forward to that. Yeah,
this is an exciting thing,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
because it's part of building your culture back, your
Yeah.
knowledge of your landscapes.
Yeah.
You're reviving that knowledge from the country,
Yeah.
and the country is showing you that it's the right way.
My kids get to grow up with this, knowing this as normal practice. It's not a new thing for them to learn. They get to grow up being a part of it and being around it. I think that's the most special thing for me, is that they get to see it with their own eyes and practice it and experience it and understand it as they're growing up. I think it's a really special thing. Yeah.
And it goes to show too that we can heal the landscape, but we need to give the opportunity to be able to do that and demonstrate that and build the jobs, build the employment, and get the country healthy, so that there's all more opportunities that come from that for women, for men, for children, for everyone. And we can only do that if Aboriginal people get the chance to lead, because that knowledge has been around for thousands of years, and it's been done over and over and over, and that's why we know what's going to happen when we burn right away, and we see this, and we know what's going to happen if we don't burn right from that last place.
Exactly right. Yeah, yeah.
And so that knowledge is already there.
Yeah, yeah.
So
and the proof, you know, the knowledge is there, but the proof is there too. You know?
that's right.
Yeah,
and when you see the proof,
yeah,
that's the language coming from the land.
that's right.
And that's what I'm saying, when the land is showing you and teaching you. And so, you know, getting that baseline structure first, that knowledge, and just starting from there is, you know, it will get you on your way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And grow old and knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And then look there's a grass tree down there too.
Yeah, let's go and look. Yeah, awesome.
Ah, look there, see?
Yeah, there he is.
That's incredible because this is the only one here.
Yeah.
Old grass tree, see?
These should be here. They should be prominent throughout here. So it's good to see them all the way back.
Yeah, it's really good. And you know what, he related to fire too, in a big way, because he make fire with his stem.
Yep.
It's food for people, and he also carries fire too in the trunk.
Yeah.
You can carry it all day, long way.
Yeah.
The trunk of the tree, it's all relation to fire.
Yep.
Very special tree, and you find him all over the country. You know, like a lot of plants, they're all related. And so gum tree down here, we got gum tree up north, and stringy bark and bloodwood and all those trees, you know, mahoganies to tea trees, everything. All of them, they all relation. Just like you got different Aboriginal people in different parts of Australia, they all have their own unique language, they have their own unique place where they live. And they all have a certain different shape and size too.
That's right, yeah.
But they're all Aboriginal people.
That's right. Yeah,
It's the same with the plants.
Yep.
They have structured the same way.
Yep.
Because the people been on the land for so long that they take the structure of the country.
Yep.
So gum tree clan, bloodwood tree clan,
Yep.
stringy bark clan, sometimes mixed blood clan.
Yeah, Wurundjeri, Manigum clan. So
That's
yep.
it. See? You start to see, no?
Yeah.
It's the same structure.
That's right. Yeah.
That people become part of the landscape.
Yep.
And that's where we need to get back to again as humanity and across the whole world, because if we're not going back to living close to nature and structuring our society around the law of nature, and which is where cultural law comes from,
That's right.
then we're never going to be able to live with the country in a positive way, and they'll continue to fight Mother Nature and fight the fires, and which is something that we just shouldn't be doing.
Yeah,
and you can see now the change in the society. People are starting to listen, and people are starting to work together.
Yep.
People are appreciating Aboriginal culture and knowledge.
Yeah.
And I think we're on the right road as a nation if we just keep on doing what we're doing.
Absolutely.
But the thing is that it's inevitable.
Yes.
This has to be the turning point.
Yep.
Otherwise, the younger generation is going to have a harder job to do.
That's right. Yep.
So, congratulations on getting your first start and building your your fire knowledge and for your people back on country here. And I hope I come back next time and you've got 10 young fellas, women and men that are willing to learn,
Guide them through,
and on their way to healing landscapes.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
All right.